Hey guys, wanted to give you a pick on the Duke-Syracuse game a little later today. Duke opens at -5 for Syracuse on the road with a total of 143.5. Big news about this game is Zion's officially ruled out. There's not really a true timetable, at least that's been released for him. However, Nike has taken quite a hit. I will say, though, that KenPom, which doesn't really account for injuries, has this as a 10-point spread. So basically, Vegas is indicating that they feel Zion is worth 5 points to a game. I feel like that's a little light. I mean, I got to be honest. I know that 5 points seems like a lot, but I mean, Zion gets a lot of steals. He makes a lot of big plays defensively, and of course, his offense goes without saying. And I think it's not even just what he does; it's what he takes away from a defense in terms of how they can stop Barrett as well. Now with really just Barrett as a primary scorer, because Cam Reddish is kind of hit and miss. Trey Jones is more of a facilitator. I'm trying to understand how Duke is going to consistently score against this zone here. So Syracuse was pesky against Duke the first time, pulling the upset on the road. Now, Duke was missing Cam Reddish, and Trey Jones got hurt in the first few minutes, and he missed the rest of the game. But defensively, Duke had let wide open jumper after wide open jumper for Syracuse. And Syracuse isn't all that great of a shooting team, but I mean, if you give these guys wide open looks, they're still college athletes, D1 athletes. They're going to make shots for the most part if they're getting wide open looks, and they were throughout that entire game. I would expect with no Zion, some defensive change are going to have to be put into place by Krzyzewski, and I'm not so sure that they'll be able to make adjustments that quickly in terms of a one-game turnaround. From the Syracuse side, their zone works great against teams that struggle from the outside. Duke's from the worst shooting teams in the ACC from three. And they're not exactly a deep team either in regards to talent. So, when you start talking about, who's going to slide in and replace Zion, there's a lot of question marks there. I mean, North Carolina, which was the most recent game, they really struggled when Zion went down, defensively and even offensively. Now, the only thing to this game is Syracuse has some Jekyll and Hyde in them. They've won games they shouldn't have. They've lost games they shouldn't have. You're never really 100% sure what type of Syracuse you're going to get. But, when you draw up this game from an analytical perspective, Syracuse makes a lot of sense getting 5 from a betting angle. Because, again, the zone is going to force Duke to struggle often. And, Syracuse should get a bunch of open looks, just like they did in the first matchup, ride the home crowd. 5 points is a lot, really playing the number here. I'm not saying Syracuse is going to upset them, but I am saying that 5 is a strong number for a team that lost, the best player in the country on a one-game turnaround. So I will happily take the 5 here with Syracuse. Now, I would expect this line to go down a bit. I would expect, people to. I know the Zion news came out about an hour or so ago, but officially that he was out. But I would expect this line to go down a bit. But then you're going to get that late Duke money. I like only 5. I wouldn't take 4.5. I wouldn't take 4. Don't get me wrong. If somehow it gets to 5.5, which would be wild, you could definitely take 5.5. But I bet it at 5, like 5. Again, expect Syracuse to really slow this game down, and Duke's offense to struggle, and expect Duke to have various droughts of scoring throughout the game, without their best player. So that wraps up the video. Wanted this to be short and sweet for you guys. Playing Cuse plus the 5 versus Duke. Hope you enjoyed the video. Good luck to us. I gave you another pick on the Louisville UVA game. If you didn't check that out, check it out. The game starts in a bit. But other than that, thanks again for viewing. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up, and feel free to comment below. Love chatting with you guys, okay? Thanks.